In the first video, I explained how the hiring contract between candidate and employer has broken. Today, I'll focus on where that break is most visible, the CV. Now, for most of our working lives, the CV did a few quiet but important jobs. It summarized someone's experience. It gave you a sense of how they communicated. And it acted as a filter, because producing a decent one took time and effort. None of that reliably holds anymore. Generative AI like ChatGPT and Gemini hasn't just made CVs better written, it's made them cheap. A candidate can now generate a tailored CV for a specific role in seconds, with keywords aligned to the job description, with language tuned to the competency framework, with the tone adjusted to sound confident but not arrogant, all without the candidate necessarily understanding or even agreeing with what's on the page. This changes what the CV represents. When you look at a strong CV today, you're not necessarily looking at evidence of capability. You're looking at evidence of optimization. Application bots can submit hundreds of applications for the same person with simply minor variations in the keywords that are used. The result is that written applications are no longer differentiating between candidates. Cover letters in particular have become almost interchangeable. They're all fluent and enthusiastic and largely meaningless, not because candidates lack motivation, but because the tools they use, ChatGPT and Gemini, converge on the same language patterns. And this creates a problem for employers. Now, at this point, some organizations reach for AI detection tools. These are tools that claim to identify AI-written CVs or cover letters. That may be a dead end, though. Detection of AI content is unreliable. It produces false positives. It disproportionately affects non-native speakers and candidates who already face structural disadvantage. Rejecting candidates based on some opaque AI detection score creates its own risk. If you can't clearly explain why someone was rejected and what evidence was used, you're creating exposure rather than reducing it. So the issue isn't that candidates are cheating, and it isn't that recruiters are naive. It's that the CV has quietly changed role. It's no longer evidence, it's merely context. It can tell you where someone has worked, rough timelines, eligibility, background. It can help you decide whether it's worth investing further time in a particular candidate. What it can't reliably do anymore is tell you how good someone is at the job you're hiring for. Treating it as proof of capability increases false positives because good CVs float to the top for the wrong reasons, and genuinely capable candidates get lost in the noise. Now, this might be uncomfortable for talent acquisition because the CV, resume, application form, cover letter have been the backbone of hiring for decades. Letting go of that as evidence feels like lowering standards, but in reality, it's the opposite. Because you can create space to introduce better evidence later. Evidence of candidate capability that's harder to fake. Evidence that reflects how work actually gets done. We'll cover more in the later videos, but evidence can come from short work tasks, work samples, giving candidates a live problem to solve, having a structured discussion with the candidate that forces reasoning rather than rehearsed answers. Something that makes the candidate engage with the substance of the role, not just describe their fit to that role. So the key point is to not stop using CVs, it's to stop asking CVs to do a job they can no longer do. Now, once you accept that, you stop trying to police candidate behavior. You stop escalating automation upon automation to fight AI. And you start designing hiring processes that are robust to the reality that we're already in. In the next video, I'll move from quality to risk, because once hiring tools start adding data and making inferences and generating scores that candidates are not able to see, this can stop being a selection issue and become a legal one.